One.
It's the Friday after Thanksgiving. You're looking at your watch list and you're saying, what are these guys going to talk about for an hour? Money Mitch has picked up something good for us to do. We'll talk a little NVIDIA, a little iRobot, Amazon, but it's Friday. We got a good show for you guys headed into the weekend. It's Premarket Prep.
Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep with your hosts, Joel Elconin
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
and Dennis Dick,
I'm bidding a penny. I'd buy that stock for a penny.
with everything you need to start your trading day.
All right, good morning, investors. Starting out in the green a little bit in the S&Ps, up 3.25 handles at 45.70.50. The buck is down 35 cents, 103.47. Bonds not helping out today, down 23.30 seconds at 105, 5.30 seconds. Crude in the red by 57 cents, 76.53. Gold hanging around 2K, up 330, 19 at 96.10. Silver can't get over 24, up nearly 4 cents at 23.725. And Bitcoin futures, they're up 130 bucks, 38,460. And I'm going to bring in Dennis and Money Mitch here both at the same time because we got some things to talk about. Dennis, first of all, Dennis, how was your day off?
Everything was okay except the Lions.
Oh gosh,
I don't even know what to say. They've lost how many Thanksgiving Day games in a row? I'm
7.
looking at some stats now, and it's like they're so hot going in, and Green Bay's ice cold. It's like this is set up for like a blowout, and Lions just come out flat. Tried to claw their way back at the end, but it was just too much.
You talk about
bull.
risk reward. What was the reward on 4th and 4 at your own 22 when you got a hot quarterback?
You call an audible, man. The play was there, but if you see the defense set up, you pull
You
it
got to
off.
check out of it. I know
That's it.
risk reward. There's risk reward in everything you do. Dan Campbell, if you're listening, that was all risk, and man, the reward. Oh man, you're still deep in your own territory. But all
Yeah.
right, we digress.
And that's what we are. We're risk managers, so we're always going to analyze even our sports like that. But it's frustrating weekend. It's been a frustrating, or a frustrating day for sports. That's for sure. My
That is
hockey
true.
team's just a disaster. So I'm like, I was thinking to myself, sports are just like ruining my life right now. I'm like depressed on my sports teams. I mean, the Lions were so good, and they're like, okay, well, I can go to them, because my Oilers are an epic disaster, and I'm like, no, you just start, you sit down, you're like, it's gonna be a good day, good game here, and it's like, man, I'm wondering if it's me.
Do you think it's a good discussion to have on the day before the Michigan Ohio State game?
Oh,
No.
man. That's all I got to say.
Joel bleeds blues, so we
Yeah,
know what happens when
I haven't been
your team
sleeping.
loses.
Do I look tired? Do I look a little bit? I'm just
Not even
not.
sleeping ahead of the game.
I'm
Can't
not
sleep.
sleeping. I can't. I keep drawing up plays. I'm
What's
worried
the
about.
line? What's the line in that
Oh
game?
God, let's talk about the line. It started at 5.5, and they bet it down to 3. Michigan was favored by 5.5, and all the Ohio State money came in. They moved it all the way to 3. I told my sister it was going to be 3 to begin with, 3.5. So big money on Ohio State. There's just all right, come on. This is not a sports
Vince
show. This is
today,
we could
baby.
have talked the whole show about
Fins
sports.
today.
the Fins.
Stocks and
Yeah.
jocks.
All
All
right. Let's get to
good
NVIDIA,
segue in it.
right?
Yep.
NVIDIA. Let's talk NVIDIA, of course. Everyone was talking NVIDIA before we left. Might as well continue the talk, right? All right. So NVIDIA had a tough time, right? I don't know if you guys can remember Wednesday after all that turkey, but I had a rough day, right? They came in with their earnings. The earnings really weren't bad, but of course, a lot of China mentions brought some concerns. And today it's falling based on that too, as shares are falling as reported delays from China's AI chip designed to comply with the U.S. export rules. The new chip called the H20 was being delayed due to issues with server manufacturers as they were integrating the semiconductor into their products. And this was reported by Reuters. Now, of course, the question from investors and traders out there, will they buy the dip in NVIDIA?
They tried to buy it on Friday, but then it was just too much pressure on the stock. And the biggest thing that's pushing this stock down is the fact that we've got this leaders to laggards, laggards to leaders thing going on in the overall market. And then the second thing is that we've got the double top up here at 500 here, Joel. And now you being a technician pointing it out, a lot of people pointing it out here, talking somewhat against my book here because I do have NVIDIA in the long-term portfolio. Part of me wants to go in there and take the money and run. But I've stuck this in for a long-term investment. I do believe NVIDIA will drive the next bull market, put a 3-year time horizon on it. I think I'll be happy that I held it. But I tell you right now, it looks tired. It needs to regroup, needs to form some consolidation before trying to go higher. It was a big move for the stock, 400 to 500 in basically 3 weeks. It was a big move.
Well, you're looking at shorter term on the dailies, but you got to give it a monthly perspective. In 3 of the last 4 months, it's topped out at 500. And I'm not going to give you all the other, the whatever the old time high is. That's just a huge level on the monthlies. And until it could get back and get a sustained 500 bid, I think you leak. I don't think we can have any whoosh down because I think the market's still kind of in good shape for the year end rally. But I would just look at that closing price from yesterday, 487 or Wednesday, 487.16. That's where the street made their decision at the end of the day. I think that's going to be a major number. See if you can get back and get above that level. On the downside, you can see there's a lot of air underneath.
We'll be watching that NVIDIA now. The next stock that has some news is we'll go to Amazon and iRobot. Whichever way you want to think about it, of course, it's Black Friday. So Amazon is going to be hot, right, on a lot of people's eyes today. And we'll see if the stock moves on this. But iRobot stock, of course, surging 40% following a report that Amazon is on track to secure an unconditional EU approval for its 1.4 billion acquisition of iRobot. This is expected to get green lighted despite the concerns that were raised in July about this deal. Looks like the original price was around 61, and now we're looking at 51.75. Am I correct with that, Dennis?
Yes. Yeah, they lowered the price a while ago down. So obviously there's still some meat on the bone here if this deal does get approved. I was in this one. I mean, this just goes to tell you, take the money and run when your stock gets taken over. You don't wait around for the last couple of points. Because I was long this thing at 41. Or I don't know what it was, 45 that day, and it got taken over for 61. And I was like, thank you very much, bail me out. I think I sold at 59. This was back in July of 2022. You got to take the money and run because then the leak, and then obviously time value of money matters. Now it didn't matter back in July of 2022, but there's always risk that these deals don't go through. So when they come within a buck or two of the takeout price, you take the money and run. That's the lesson learned from here. You should ching it. Kramer's always says that too. So, Kramer, right, wrong, he always says that. And I think he's right in this case. You take the money and run when your stock gets taken over. You don't sit around and wait for the last couple of dollars. Now, in this case, it kind of feels like Activision Blizzard here because there is a lot of meat on the bone. I mean, at $29, people are thinking, well, this deal's dead. It's not coming around. Well, now it sounds like the deal's alive. So you still got 13 points on the bone here, $38 up to that 51.75 takeout price, which I believe it's 51.75. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, but I think it got lowered. It was originally 61. And then I believe down to 51.75. So there is still a lot of meat on the bone here. The question is now, if the deal didn't go through, I mean, there's a lot of debt in this company, a lot of issues. It's not, nearly as strong of a position as it probably was back in 2022. So, I mean, the risk isn't, that this thing goes back to 29 if it doesn't go through. It could be $20 if it doesn't go through. So, I think the deal goes through, though. I think this actually gets approval. I think this could get taken out at 51.
Okay, you can see you got the pop even today. All the short-term traders, I mean, if you've been buying this thing, you've been underwater, made a low last week, so you do have some people ringing the bell. Maybe people will forget about it in a couple days, and let it drift back lower. But
maybe.
Look at, Florida. You know what? He brought up another chart here, Dennis, and I've never traded it. I even Shark Ninja. Look at that chart, and that has probably a similar product, right? Look at
Is
that.
this the shark, the vacuum?
Yeah, the shark. Exactly. This is
Yeah,
the ninja.
When did this go public?
not
Honestly,
too
I'm
long.
gonna add this to my universe. I didn't even realize. Is that volume? The trade volume?
Let me
it
see the
does.
date.
Yeah,
Let me
no, it
see.
trades some volume.
Yeah.
Okay. New stock for my stock universe. I did not even realize Shark Ninja was a public company. It's only been out there 3 months.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Shark Ninja. Nice.
Thank you.
Not
I
a
think we
bad
have one
one.
of those sharks. I do. I have one
I-
of those shark vacuums. It's pretty good.
I gotta give it to this. This is a very smart one to mention, especially with this. Jay, hey, not bad. It was a spinoff. Looks like it was a spinoff. Jay's saying
From who?
from who? Yeah, exactly. We'd love to hear about that. This
Well,
is
let's
not a
go. We
story.
can go hunting too.
Yeah,
You can just ask Siri.
hunting right now.
Hey Siri, who spun off Shark Ninja? See how good Siri is.
I don't think she's.
Dun,
I'm
dun,
gonna short. I'm gonna short Siri on this one.
Short series.
Oh, it didn't hear me. It said, "Who's
Short
the
Siri.
father of Shark Ninja?"
Who's
Hey
the
Siri,
father?
who spun off Shark Ninja?
Shinobi, says Jay Breed.
JS Global Lifestyle Company completes a spinoff. JS Global.
Okay.
Who's J? Hey Siri, who is JS Global?
Okay, so it
we'll
looks
go
like
down a slippery slope here. Yeah.
All right, so it
JS
looks like
Global.
this is the only been around for how long here?
Couple months.
Stock
Yeah,
3
I
months.
look- yeah.
822. First date I
got
have.
down. They crushed this thing off the hop. And look at the first 5 days of trading. It went from 30 to 50 to 25. I mean, that was wild trading the first 4
That's
days.
that
It's crazy
IPO
we never
life.
talked about this on the show. It never got any love. I
No,
never
not at
realized it
all.
was even in existence. I missed this one.
I'll tell you one thing: the ninjas definitely get bought up all the time. So this is the time when you get those on sale. I'll tell you that much. I did want to bring in an interesting conversation. Let me go ahead and share my chart since we're talking some Black Friday deals.
Sure.
One of the things I always like to do is maybe just look at some Google Trend data. Right here, you guys have it. The interesting part on this one is that what I did here is I compared research for Black Friday deals, and this is the past 5 years. As you guys can see, sometimes we beat it year over year, like this 2020 compared to 2021. Did a lot more Black Friday shopping, but now you see where we're at right now, and we're about like halfway through this spike. And there's maybe like 3 more days left.
Today is probably the day
it.
where they're Googling Black Friday, though. Like, because
Yeah.
people are just waking up on the West Coast. Think about like they're just waking up here. So I'm
So
gonna
this
go
would be
Google
something
Black
that
Friday
I'll
deal
watch
after the
maybe.
show.
This is something that I'd watch maybe the next 2 days or the next maybe by Monday to see how much of a pop we actually got from overall searches of Black Friday deals. Of course, this is not going to be for one certain stock, but could just be one way of measuring what could potentially come from the numbers from the retailers, right? So just wanted to bring that conversation in here. Are you guys doing any Black Friday shopping?
Maybe. I don't know. My wife probably is. My wife does the shopping more than I do. Let's talk Amazon, though, too, in this context. So Amazon doesn't care anything about iRobot. It's not going to impact the price whatsoever because it's a drop in the bucket. You're talking about a $1 billion deal on a company that's worth whatever the hell Amazon's worth. But let's talk the technicals on Amazon. I mean, it sets up fairly well here.
Ooh.
We're near 52-week highs here on Amazon. My wife is still long in her long-term portfolio. I think it sets up fairly well in the charts. It looks constructive. What are your thoughts here, guys?
Well, first of all, I think we have a Shark Ninja toaster.
Oh my gosh, going back to the Shark Ninja talk.
Anyways,
somebody's saying Sharknado. That was supposed to be
Sharknado.
Well, Amazon. Interesting thing about Amazon is, and the same thing happened at J.P. Morgan, right? They came out with the CEO stock sale, right? 140 million. On this day is when it's made the low at 135. Amazon comes out and says Bezos is going to dump $1 billion worth of stock. This is this day, right? And they knock it down. A great buying opportunity. This thing, yeah. This is breaking out on the monthlies here. Very important. I think we're through the 50%. So I can't say clear sailing to 160 and change. We could always, drill down on the dailies. But man, nice move yesterday, and no clear monthly resistance here. And when there's no resistance, there's no resistance.
Well, you just think about the Magnificent Seven and how many are making all-time highs now. We got Microsoft at all-time highs. We have Nvidia, which is just off all-time highs, obviously, recently here. Apple is not far from all-time highs. Keep going through the list here. So Google's not that far from all-time highs. Meta's not that far from all-time highs. It's funny how we talk about all these stocks and how they've had such a fantastic year. And still a lot of them are not back to all-time highs. It shows you how bad 2022 was. 2022 was just an epic disaster, but 2023, for most of these stocks, got a lot of those losses back. Amazon is probably the farthest from all-time highs out of that Magnificent Seven. You're looking back 2021, $188. So you're still 42 points away from all-time highs here on Amazon. So maybe it's like people shop and thinking like for stocks, well, Magnificent Seven, Amazon's not back there. It's getting back there eventually. They're looking for 40 points here.
All right, team. It's time to have some fun today. Of course, it being Black Friday, we decided to do some fun conversation here, bring a little entertainment also to this. So this is a time where you guys get to jump in and join the show. Let us know if you guys know these 10 strongest performing stocks of the year. Of course, we've excluded some of those small caps, right? These are more mid cap and large cap names. We're going to play the 10 strongest performance stocks of the year. A little bit of some fun time here on Pre-Market Prep. Let's have a good time here. And you guys guess the stock. First stock up, number 10 in 10th place. What is the stock that you guys think is in 10th place for the strongest performance of the year?
So what is the filter? Is it like all like obviously not looking at micro caps here?
It's
You're
going to
looking
be
at like
yeah, exactly.
mega
Like let's
cap
say if
story
we were
stocks.
looking at like let's say a heat map, your bigger stocks. We're going to talk your mid caps to, of course, your big blue cap stocks.
Okay. So we know which stocks are going to be on this list. There's going to be Meta is going to be on this list. Nvidia is going to be on this list.
So first
where are they on the list?
Let's do
Lilly's
probably on this
place
list
here, guys. 10th place.
Okay, show us the 10th. Show us the 10th.
All right, in 10th place, we got, of course, none other than
the suspense
Netflix, baby. Netflix comes in with the win here, and this is 62.1% up for the year. So
Mitch, you putting the timer up? You putting the timer up?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we have to have a timer.
You forgot about the fun part, Joel.
To talk about each one of these because
all right. Let
Jeremy
me.
Newsom's coming on at 8:30.
Yeah, we're not gonna. I bet you we get through like 3.
No, we're going to get through it. There's a timer. Okay, go. Set that timer. Netflix.
Boom. Started at 1:30 left. All right. 126. Keep going, Dennis. Let's go. What do you got?
62.1%. I had this in the long-term portfolio for a while. I participated in some of this, but I sold it probably in March or April when it got up to 350. I had bought it originally around 350, then bought more at 170. Never found average down, Joel told me, and then that ended up working out for me. So it ended up being a good trade because that 170 purchase. 478, it's kind of gone too far too fast for me now. I think there's resistance at 500, but maybe it keeps going towards the end of the year. I think January rug pull for Netflix.
I'm going to say path of least resistance is higher until your July high at 485.90 if you're looking for another target on the upside.
Mitch, you got 45 seconds.
All right, 45 seconds for Netflix. Well, I'll tell you guys one thing. Definitely, this is the month of the year where you are going to get, of course, a lot of people adding Netflix to watch those holiday movies. Same way I feel about Disney Plus. So who knows? Maybe it's a little bit better of a quarter than most expect.
Season in its favor.
Yep, exactly.
20 seconds to spare. Next one. Number 9.
Let's get to the next one here. All right, in 9th place, what do you guys think? And you guys keep dropping them in the chat.
I don't know if we can guess
our way up.
We're not going to have enough time to guess. Just give it. Lay it on.
Someone threw Celsius in there. I bet you that's in there.
Okay, let's go. You guys already named this one. Haha, Joel, I'll give it to you. 62.66%. Lilly.
You guessed that, Joel?
Lilly. No, it's Lilly. He was saying it just a moment ago. So there you go. 62.66% here. Not a bad move at all. Can you guys? What do you guys think about this? I mean, can this keep going? Weight loss, baby.
Stock driven by story. Valuation is crazy, but they think this drug is going to be the most hottest drug that ever, this weight loss drug is going to change the world. That's how they're pricing this. So I think the story cools. I think its stock's tired right now. I think honestly, I would sell the stock right now because I look at all these tops here around 600. The stock looks exhausted to me. Like it's had a great year. It's a huge run for a pharmaceutical company. I would argue to sell this stock right now.
I wish I could draw a little triangle here, but I would go right up these lows here and draw a trend line there, and then draw a triangle here, and then which way it goes, I think it looks like it's going to break down through the lower part. So I agree with Dennis on this one. Path of least resistance is lower until you could get, well, you're ways away from the all-time high, but a little wedgie there that's working out through the bottom.
My only concern is if something goes wrong with these drugs, right? That could be the disaster on these. That's why I barely ever play these. But of course, if you got it early, maybe you got enough. There's the buzzer. Let's get to the next one here in 8th place. What do we got here, guys? This is an interesting one. Probably one that you guys probably won't get in the chat. I do see some names thrown out there. So let's go to the next one here in 8th place. It's LRCX up 70.7%. You wouldn't expect this one move here.
That and Applied Materials, these two stocks go hand in hand. I pair trade these two stocks. You put the two charts on each other, they look virtually identical. It's just been a good year for chips. So, I mean, we've come back. Obviously, October, the stock has more than doubled since October. Obviously not up quite that much this year, 70%, but it's been an awesome performer here. It is not far from all-time highs, just like Applied Materials, sitting up here, kissing near all-time highs.
I mean, but you just have some major monthly resistance here. So I just would respect that. Several months it's topped out here. I can't move my horizontal line up there, but actually made a new all-time high this month at 728.23. I find out what the all-time closing high is. I think that's 718.46. So you want to see that continues to improve, but major monthly resistance.
All right, next up, wouldn't you guys know it? This one's going to be one that you guys are. I've been impressed with this stock just because it's pure price and still the action. AVGO up 73.84%. What a monster in 7th place this stock has been.
Love this company still. Obviously pulled back just recently on the VMware deal going through. So we see that off the board. Valuation still attractive, trading like 21 times earnings. It was trading at 18 or 19 times a while ago here. It's your value AI play. And I mean, it's in everything. So I think Broadcom, we talked about consolidation in the 850 area, and I liked it back then. I'm going to continue to like Broadcom. I think you're buying dips.
I think I'm going to go shorter term on this one, and I think you just got to keep a real close eye on 971. Let's split the 971. You're low on Friday, 971 Friday, Wednesday, and then also Tuesday. I know that day in there. The last two lows, 971. That's a good level there. Keep an eye on it.
All right, next one up here, and this one is one that we've already talked about. So who's going to get this right? I'll give you guys a chance at least here. We've already talked about this one. Let's see if anybody in the chat gets one of these right.
Flipping through charts,
we are
guessing
in
here. It's messing me up.
6th place. What is in 6th place here, guys? We've already talked about it. I give you guys even a hit. You see, Joel's still riding the Celsius wave. Let's see if anybody, I'm going to give at least like 10 more seconds here to see if anyone jumps in the chat. But this is, a fun time, and I think it's an important thing to kind of catch. Not bad mention there.
Is it Tesla?
Is it Tesla? Nope. No. Is it NVIDIA? No, Richard.
Tesla's higher on the list?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Tesla's higher on the list.
Maybe. All right. Nobody got it right here. I thought someone would get it here. It's Amazon, of course.
We already talked to Amazon.
Yeah, I thought someone would guess this one right, but
What's Amazon? Amazon's up 74% this year. Holy,
74.66%
wow.
year to
What
date.
was Amazon doing down at $80? That's the better question.
That was the better question.
That's the better question. Who's selling Amazon at $80? That's getting to a point of ridiculous
opportunity, right? I mean, remember when this stock was, it did the stock split. That's the only reason we're trading it down at these lower kind of prices. So I think that was a major opportunity. Let's keep it going, though. Let's go to the stock that's in 5th place. This is the stock that's hated by most. And it could be because you're an older investor. Which one would this one be? Let's see if I'm putting Joel and Dennis on the line here. Which one is it, guys? You guys have any guesses on this one?
Number 5. I think still on the list is Tesla. I think still on the list is Meta. I think still on the list is Nvidia.
I think I know this stock. I think I know this one. Coinbase.
Nope. Not hated enough. This one here. You guys ready? It is GE, of course.
Oh,
GE. Holy, going off the charts here.
92%.
My
you guys
goodness.
Wake up, guys.
Never
because I know that
GE.
and I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it like this. I know that the boomers don't like this stock because they've struggled a long time for this one. But man,
I still hate GE.
If you're a millennial trader or you've been looking at it in this last year, you're probably loving GE.
You're loving GE in the last year. You absolutely hate it if you bought it 20 years ago because I don't even know where the all-time high is on GE. But they did the reverse split. When your stocks are reverse split and they're really crappy. What's the all-time high on GE? I went back and looking. All-time high on GE.
I got it. It's over 240.
You want to know how? You got to go farther back, Joel. Because
early 2000s.
It was $360 back in 2001. $360. So if you held this stock for the last 22 years, you were down 60% on your money. That's how crappy GE has been run. But it's been pretty good in the last year.
Yeah. Don't knock it now, because I mean, hey, if you got it this year, you made
it
a killing, right?
Year.
That's how timing is everything.
Every dog has its
every day.
Yeah, 120. I mean, that's just looking at the resistance, it hasn't been up near this area since late 2017. Your net monthly high comes in at 124.52. So it looks like it's just consolidating on the monthlies here, and the trend has been higher. So see if you can break out above 120. S&P's leaking just a little bit. I'm even hesitant to say it on a day like this because it's just we're not going to have a lot of movement, but we're trying to stay in the green here. And GE Healthcare, that was doing great.
Hasn't done bad either.
Oh, it's coming back a little bit here. I like the healthcare stocks right now, and just go on a tangent here. I put one healthcare stock in my long-term portfolio, and it's a dumpster fire too. Put Bristol Myers in the long-term portfolio here. Joel's got it up on the screen here.
Good Lord.
Absolute dumpster fire.
That's a dumpster.
The reason I've been looking at it for a while and had a little insider buy a couple days ago. And I'm like, you know what? This is value central, not a trade. This is like stick it in. I'm rebuilding some of my portfolio here. This is a dumpster fire I'm buying. Complete contrarian call, but I'm in long Bristol Myers now in the long-term portfolio.
Dennis, we should have Eli Lilly and not have Bristol Myers.
Probably.
But
well,
let's move on.
That's to be determined. So Lilly. So I just put I'm actually up in Bristol Myers. I actually almost got the very bottom. I bought a 48.65 on Wednesday. So I'm in a 48.60, I think actually on Wednesday.
Nice.
Just below the day.
Don't worry, your stock might come up in the 5 of the worst performers of this year.
No, I think it might. I might buy all 5 of the worst performers.
All right,
that might be my list to buy.
Oh boy.
All 5 of the worst performers. Okay, we're gonna run out of time. We got to start speeding it up.
All right, moving us on here. Top 4. We're in the top 4 now, guys. What would you think is in the top 4?
Not even because we don't have enough time.
Yeah.
No.
All right. We still got time. We got 5 minutes.
No, we don't. Jeremy's coming in 5 minutes.
AMD, guys. AMD,
I'm blowing that one. I got a winner.
89.15%, guys. Almost up 90% here on AMD. What a monster, of course. And a nice reversal underneath that 100 price. That's probably the best price of the year, right? Anything below that 100?
Yeah. That 94.95 level, and I wish I would have reloaded right up there because I sold half my position on the pop and then I didn't rebuy the other half. So I only have a half size position on this thing now. Still long AMD.
AMD benefited more from NVIDIA's earnings than NVIDIA did.
It
Looking
did.
at a
That's funny.
couple of, yeah, a couple other stocks. This one, I'm not going to make any big call. It will give you a couple highs and lows in the same area, give you a little consolidation before it makes the next move. It looks like if we can a couple more lows at 120 here, press our way up higher. I do have a 3-star resistance on the upside at the 127 area if you're looking for another target on the upside.
All right, let's keep it going. In third place, but not least, with the bronze medal here coming in, the winner that is Tesla.
We knew
Yeah.
Tesla's on the list. Tesla on the list.
90.14%, guys. What a monster
Wow.
move.
It's a big move. Valuation's an issue. What is going to be the issue in 2024 is people are not going to be buying big ticket stuff. I think we're seeing it already. I'm not buying car companies and big ticket stuff right now. Staying away from that.
All right, let's move on. Let's get to the next one here. This is in second place. We're going to go with none
Meta?
other than
Meta?
you got it, my friend.
Yeah.
Winner.
Yeah,
Well, that's
Meta. We know Nvidia's number
1.8,
one.
183.77%. What a move. This is what you can call an investment that you could look back on and be like, man, this could change my life, right?
Got $90, hit $88 in October. Back October 2022 when the world was ending. It was just, that was the time to just load up. And January, obviously, too. And then we had the January turn, a lot of stuff. I mean, all these stocks. And it's been a continuous march. You haven't had a significant dip really since it made that low back in October. It's kind of been steady up. You know, your Jeff Mackey purple crayon kind of steady up there. So now it's kind of gone too far. I don't know. I think you're going to get a rug pull in 2024 and get another shot at this. But the Zuck is back.
Yeah, stop talking about the metaverse. 340, 342.93. I got a level. If you're looking to trim this, 343. That was your high in November. And then that also was a monthly high way back in January of 2022.
All right, guys. And now, of course, our top performer. I don't think anybody's going to get this one wrong. It is NVIDIA, of course, 233.35% for the year.
Holy.
That is a rocket.
that was $100 back in October too, and nobody saw the earnings exploding like this. I mean, they got a chance to do $20 in earnings last year. That means that $100 was trading up 5 times earnings. I mean, you know, looking ahead, I think nobody saw this AI explosion. You know, so it's in a completely different spot than it was a year ago. But wow, what a stock! Trying to bounce back a little bit. It was 477 when we started the show, so there's still this underneath demand here for this stock. I'm still long, staying long.
All right, guys. Of course, we pulled this from FinViz, so I wanted to give them a little bit of love on this action. If you guys don't know, FinViz, a nice little free resource. They also got premium version, but wanted to give them a little shout out. It's one of my favorite sources. And you guys can find this on the heat map, right? That's how I found it here. Just put year to date and then check it out, guys. All right, let's go to the next one. We'll go really quickly on this one.
Are we going to the losers? Or are we going to do Jeremy and then the losers? Why don't we do Jeremy and then the losers?
Joel, you're muted. I wanted to get your opinion, but
I think we do Jeremy and then the losers. We can't do 5 losers in 1 minute.
I mean, we could bring them on with the losers.
Jeremy's on here. Yeah, bring him on. Bring him on.
How about we do that?
Yeah.
How about we do that? We bring them on with the losers, and then we'll get into some other conversation in the market. You guys out
Jeremy's
there,
a winner, though. I would have rather brought.
Yeah. You know what? Let's go. Bring him on, Mitch. Come on. Let's go.
Do it.
Jeremy Alexander Newsom. How you doing, buddy? Good to see
dogs. How are you, gentlemen?
Before we do our next segment, or we pick up where we left off, the question is, of those 10 stocks that we talked about, how many are in the Jeremy Newsom portfolio?
I don't know. Did he catch all 10? Because we've been doing it for like 15 minutes. He may not have caught all 10. Jeremy's a busy guy.
I'll roll through it in the background here. In 10th place, we got Netflix, Lilly in 9th, LRCX 8th, AVGO in 7th, Amazon in 6th, GE 5th, AMD 4th, Tesla in 3rd, Meta in 2nd, and of course your number one, NVIDIA
Thank
Boom,
you, my
boom,
man. Yeah,
boom.
the 3 of those that I do have long term, and I kind of build positions in constantly: Netflix, Tesla, and what was the third one that you mentioned? Number
Ooh,
6.
Amazon.
Amazon.
Amazon,
Yep,
AMD.
yep, Amazon.
Ooh, there you
Amazon.
Yeah,
go. You can't go
because
wrong with
my
Amazon.
sister and my niece work at Amazon in one of the fulfillment centers, so I picked up some shares because they always have some really cool stories, and it's a great company, man. They pay well, they're extremely kind to their
Yeah.
employees. Anyway, so I own some
Jeremy, here's a
Amazon.
question for
Yeah.
you. Do you just dollar cost average into these things? Like, because are you trying to time them? Because you're a trader at heart, like me, but you have this long-term investment portfolio. How do
Yeah.
you like manage the long-term investment portfolio? Do you manage it the same way you trade?
Great question. Not extremely often. So my biggest strategy in my long-term investing is I do collars. So I'll do a lot of collars, right? Sell calls, buy puts. And
Okay.
I am in a collar right now on Netflix that I probably will get called away on. And so I have no fear. I'm not worried at all about getting called away for gains. And then I'll just look to rebuy those positions later, usually selling puts and buying shares. But to answer your question, I'll day trade or actively trade over here in another portfolio. And then at the end of the month, if I have profits, I'll take a portion of those profits and kind of dump it in and kind of just
Good way to do it.
randomly kind of, dollar cost average, buy some at a moving average, buy some on a little bit of a dip, $3 less than it was yesterday, buy 10 shares, that kind of thing.
Awesome.
Let's go to the 5 worst performers of the year. At least these aren't the overall just worst. There's some, of course, smaller caps that can probably be
Yeah,
worse.
is this on the
but-
S&P, Mitch, or is this
Yeah.
just okay.
This is pretty much like it's some your bigger caps. What you would probably find also on that same list.
I bet
right
a bank
here,
is going to be on there.
But you're showing them to
ooh.
us, so we see the heat map. So
No,
I
I
can
mean
cheat
you
right
can't
now.
see that. You're not fast
Pfizer looks
enough.
like number 1, the worst.
You're not. You're
Johnson
not
Johnson
fast
looks like
enough.
it was on there.
Those healthcare
All
stocks
right,
are
let's
terrible,
go. In
man.
5th place, we got none
I probably
other
own them all.
than Nextera, NEE, down
don't have
gosh, it's a
31.26%.
Wow.
Take a
Yeah.
look at this chart.
This is an epic disaster. It's a debt issue. It's the biggest component of the XLU and a big reason why the XLU has massively underperformed. But this was a Kramer favorite, and I mean, he couldn't, he's right about some stuff, wrong about some stuff. He could not have been more wrong on this thing. This thing has been an epic disaster. It's trying to claw its way back, but Nextera Energy, just too much debt, man.
Rates. Yeah, rates on
Rates
this one.
killing them.
Yeah. Nice little consolidation here.
Yep.
If you're I'm looking at 54.50 as major support, and if it can crack 58.30, maybe a little bit more room on the upside here. But yeah, a lot of debt, and we know what utilities have done this year.
Do you guys like utility plays? Because there's a few that look really good, man. Like American Waterworks, AWK, that one's down
Yeah.
a bunch. You have a REIT, AMT, American Tower. I love buying companies with the word America in it.
I can't blame
Nice.
you with it, man.
Yeah, AMT and AWK are both really intriguing to me right now.
I think if rates have peaked, I think there's a place for utilities. This has been a rates issue, Jeremy, in my opinion, is like they've had a
Sure.
really rough year, a lot of these companies, because rates have been going higher. But if we
Sure.
think rates have peaked, if you think the TLT has stopped going down,
Yeah.
utilities could have a play in 2024.
Yeah, I'm on that boat because, and again, this is just my personal opinion. I think that Biden wants to get reelected, and I think that they're going to lower interest rates around that time, coincidentally, right? And markets will be kind of near all-time highs, or I mean, by this time next year, they should be scorching above all-time highs. But all that being stated, yeah, I think they'll lower interest rates and play that card of like, hey, look at the economy. We're at all-time highs.
Right.
Interest rates are lower. CPI is 1. And so, just my
Not bad talk for sure. Let's take a look here at the next one. In 5th place, Schwab, down
Ooh.
2.83%.
Yep, regional banks. They spent
Yep.
like
It's
$40
not even really a
billion.
regional bank. It just got
Yeah,
clustered.
this
in
I didn't
there.
even consider it a regional
I know,
bank.
but it's been clustered in the regional bank, so regional brokerage, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Schwab's been. I'm scared of the regional bank still. I'm still scared because rates are higher, and this is not a regional bank, but it's clustered in there.
Let's
So
cluster
I'm
in
still
there.
staying
I'm going
away.
to cluster
Jeremy,
in there.
you
Number
licking your
3.
chops on Schwab?
Yeah. So on a technical chart, I like this one. On the monthly, it's at the 100 simple moving average. Is at
Ooh,
50.
100. Okay.
100 on the 100 simple. I do like Schwab, man. I mean, they bought out TD Ameritrade for what was it, 32 bill.
Yeah.
So I know Dennis helped a lot in that transaction. They had to call him for the bridge loan. But yeah, man, they own TD now. I mean, that is a huge transaction. This is one of the largest financial institutions in the world, always has been. It's down. I mean, down 32% is a good number. I like it, man. I like it down here.
Any idea why it struggled this much? Is it just because the regional banks are down, or do you think there's actually something wrong with the
People
company?
are worried.
Yeah,
people are still worried.
Yeah,
about
they're
rates.
worried about what they got on the books here, and they keep saying that they're not. But a shorter term number here, if you want more upside in this thing, you clear 57. You got some nice room on the upside here. I'd make
Agreed.
that a 3-star level. Keep an eye on 57 if you're looking
What's
for.
working against it is Kramer really loves this one. That's working against it.
Poor Kramer.
What about CMA, guys? In third here, I grabbed one of the
Another
regionals because
regional
there's a lot of
bank.
them. They're down
Gosh.
30-something%, but this is 34.73% CMA. You guys know how I feel about the regionals. I'm not
I don't
changing
like any of them.
tune.
Man,
Joel, you
yeah.
own this one? You own
I own
this
this
one.
one.
Time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Picked one that.
yeah, but I bought.
Oh,
it
you
in
got
April.
Pfizer on the list. Don't worry. And I own
Yeah,
that
I
one,
got
so
that
that's
one too.
probably on
I
the number
bought,
one
but
on
I
the list.
bought this in April, and I just don't think they're going out of business. But I mean, I bought a small position in this, but the bigger position that I bought in April was I had never been long J.P. Morgan, never had it in my portfolio, so I added that one.
Yeah,
I
that's a good
added
one.
that one in April too.
Yeah.
So
Strong
yeah,
bank, though.
you know,
If I'm buying banks, I'm staying with the majors.
Yeah, the two that I lost a heap of money on First Republic, and
so did I. I got a little haircut on that one too.
I got punched right in the throat. But J.P. Morgan and Bank of Montreal and Schwab were the three big plays that I went in on, or not big plays, bigger banks. Those are the three that I kind of played it out. But yeah, J.P. Morgan.
I like the Canadian banks are going to start coming out of this because the difference is, and I've talked about this on the show, Jeremy. Canadian banks only loan for 5 years max.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
what you see is like these 30-year loans, you know, some of these, you know, regional banks got on these mortgages, you know, at 2.8%. Those will come off the books on the Canadian banks eventually, and they'll start to be in a stronger position where they're actually, you know, not inverted anymore. Like I've talked about Bank of Nova Scotia, where I've got one of my rental properties. I'm borrowing money, Jeremy, at 1.64%. It's like insane.
Dennis.
And I've got some money to pay that off, but I'm like, I'm not going to pay off any of that.
No
reason to. Yeah.
And I've got a GIC, which is a guaranteed investment certificate, guaranteed by, you know, a Bank of Canada at the same bank for 5.72%.
Wow.
So I'm literally just making
They hate you,
4.1%
Dennis.
off that bank every month.
There's
It's
a
like
reason why he
awesome.
has the CFA, right?
Awesome.
Wow.
But that comes off the books December 2024. So I get another 1 year of fun there, and then I'm going to take my money and pay off a lot of that mortgage when that term, because they're going to probably renew me up at like 7.
What a trade.
Second place. You already said it, but Dennis, you also own the other one here. Pfizer.
I
Bristol
knew
Myers,
Pfizer was
much.
coming, man, at me.
Yeah,
I own the first one too. I own them both. I own the two worst.
At least
I mean,
it's
this
healthcare.
has to be a good buying zone for
In the
Pfizer.
healthcare one.
What do you think Pfizer long term here?
I love it. Honestly, I do. I actually like it a lot. I
You're
mean,
a
this is
contrarian investor too. You're like
40% down. It's at the, not that specifically matters.
hated by the world.
The 200 on the weekly. I mean, that's a big.
It's like 10-year lows here for Pfizer.
Yep, 10-year lows. A bunch of months in a row of just down months. I mean, really, essentially since February, we've just been going straight down, but slowly. So I think that the bear's getting exhausted. This is probably a good one to. This is one I would dollar cost averaging. I don't have any position on it right now, but I'm really starting to plan it.
Is this just COVID vaccine hate on the Pfizer?
Yeah.
I think that's
well, not hate. They just
and rates.
Yeah. I don't know what their pipeline is. You don't hear anything about that. You know,
I did hear they're starting to get in the weight loss drugs.
They
are
just
starting.
They
so
got
maybe that's a
working there, but they're a
turnaround.
little late.
I don't know.
Real late.
Dog, bark, rough. It's been a rough year for me and Pfizer.
All right, here's the number one that I have pulled, and this is a surpriser, right? It's in technology. What could it be? What could it be? Any guesses? I'll give you guys 5 seconds here.
Technology.
A technology stock that is down
Bad one, the tech.
72.22% for
I
the
don't
year.
think I own any stocks. down
Is it a Kathy stock?
Nope, it's not a Kathy stock.
Skyworks.
72%. It's in technology. It's got to be small.
Guys, it's on your roof, maybe. Solar Edge, baby.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that-
Solar's a disaster.
Yeah,
Solar is just such a disaster.
Solar Edge, good one though.
This
Mitch.
is rates too. So this entire bottom 5 is impacted by higher rates directly. And the reason Solar Edge, you can look at their balance sheet, it's like, oh, the debt isn't crazy. But the problem is the customers have to finance to buy the product. And that's where they get hit. Solar Edge, First Solar, obviously ENPH have all been hammered by rates. But if we think rates have peaked, there is an argument for these stocks in 2024. If we think rates have peaked, that's a big if.
Fascinating. Well, worst case scenario, what I like about the whole, a lineage of us being as traders team is we can look at these and the ones that are down, if they have a good move, right? 2-3 weeks, you capture 3 or 4 points and you're out of the position. That's always a good thing for cash flow, right? And this is one I would love to keep an eye out, see if it can pop into 100. I mean, it's at
Look how quiet
78. Like that is a good day trade.
And you know what? I do think you're going to have some tax loss selling here, which might be an issue here for the next month.
Good point.
But there is the case for these stocks in January. The January effect that I talk about is leaders to laggards, laggards to leaders. There's other January effects, but the one that I always focus on, it absolutely worked last year because tech was very much a laggard in 2022, and all those stocks ripped in 2023. I think a lot of these stocks that have been hammered by rates, your pharmaceuticals, your solar companies, some of your retail companies, could have a better 2024. So I'd be having that shopping list ready, and maybe you strike January 1st.
I like this. I like that plan, dude.
Yeah. We'll talk, Jeremy. We'll come up with a list, me and you.
100%.
All right, let's switch gears here, Jeremy, and just talk about where the market is. It's a great rally. We seem to have inflation whooped. The recession talk is kind of on the back table here. Give us it's a little bit early to give a 2024 outlook, but kind of put a bow on the year so far or the price action and give us what you going to be your key drivers here 2024.
Yeah, I do. I think my take is they're going to lower interest rates a little bit. I don't think dramatically, but a point or two next year. And it'll probably start around June and start ending around November, coincidentally.
Why do you think that?
For re-election purposes. That's kind of my thought. For the current Democratic office that's in party, I think that they're going to pull back interest rates. Really allow everyone to say, hey, we're doing great. We survived the recession. I'm the greatest president in the world, that type of thing. And we'll get that nice little pullback. That will allow the real estate market to heat up again, right? With interest rates pulling back, people will be really excited about that. We did have a nice little cooling effect over the last, I'd say 13, 15 months in real estate, at least here in the US. But I think overall an interest rate pullback increases the home values, but also allows more people to purchase and allows the stock market to go higher. Just kind of my plan. So a lot of laggards, like my boy Dennis was saying, are going to kind of start to flip, and we'll have some good pushes on a lot of those that have a forbearance on just rates. Like if rates is the biggest driver, biggest impact to that particular economy or particular stock.
So Jerome is going to play nice. We'll see. I still have yet to see him play nice. I think he might just play for the long-term run and be like, well, we'll see who's there in December time and January time, and then we may cut rates. But that's how we got to think. It's a long time ahead, right?
Sure.
Let's go to another conversation with the course I like to do around this time. Last year, technology was the most beaten down sector, right? This year, it's back at the top. How do you feel going into 24? Will we see it kind of in the mid performance? What do you feel about technology going into 24?
I like what Dennis said. Although I don't always agree with him, I do usually agree with him. I do think we're gonna have a nice little sharp decline or big pullback of some kind. It's gonna scare a lot of people, but I do think that pullback gets purchased, right? I think it's a buy the dip. But I mean, we've actually been going up faster than we went down. It feels like
that's crazy.
On
in some stocks, it's the truth.
Yeah, and so that doesn't last. But I do think that this trend is very, very powerful. And I think like a lot of people enjoy this right now, myself included. So yeah, we're going to have some scary selling, but that selling will lead to higher highs, in my opinion. I've been calling for new all-time highs by the end of the year since March. And I think we could still get there, man.
I think we could get there.
Yeah, I think it's very, very possible, especially this little move. So new all-time highs, we pull back. That pullback gets bought January, February, and then March, April, May, strong. And we just kind of keep soaring. It's kind of my general plans. And then, yes, I am looking for some of the bigger utility and REIT plays to kind of go along. I do not personally believe that there's going to be a real estate crash at all. It's just, again, my opinion. Yes, a lot of commercial spaces are going to get punished a little bit, right? Some of the big leasing centers, but in general, I think real estate's going to be just fine. I think we had a little bit of a pullback, correction, a pause. I think we're good to go.
We underestimated, how resilient the consumer is just by having these long-term, mortgages, like having, 30-year AMs. I mean, and obviously, locked in for 30 years. We just underestimated that. I mean, Canada is in an official recession here right now, and you can feel it slower in Canada. And it's 100% because people are, one, there's like 50% are in variables, but two, it's the people who are in fixed that keep having them come due. It's like every single day, somebody's fixed mortgage comes up, and now all of a sudden they're going from 2.5% to 7.5%. They're like, I got to cut the spending back. This is happening continuously, and the Canadian real estate market is tumbling because of it. I mean, Canada's in a completely different story here.
Sure.
So
totally.
The U.S., just good on, but what I've been saying is what is good for the U.S. consumer is bad for those regional banks, because they have the opposite, problem there.
Correct.
It's like the rates are 4, 5, 6, 7%, and you're lending at 3%. Yeah, how long can you do that for?
Yeah,
that's why I'm staying away from regionals.
What are you avoiding, Jeremy? What are you avoiding?
Oh, that's a good question. What are you avoiding?
I always avoid pharmaceuticals and biotech, just because.
Yeah, I like that mention.
Because the overnight bang, it's like down 40%.
Approvals or disapprovals.
I'll tell you something too, Jeremy, just to expand on that, is like I day trade, I overnight trade. I've been doing this 24-hour trading here for a long time, and I'll go with Pfizer's or Merck's are the big ones, but these smaller companies, I avoid them too, because I don't know what's going to happen. And all of a sudden, you buy a few hundred shares or 1,000 shares or something, and bang, it opens down 50%. It's like, holy macro, what happened?
Yeah.
So I'm with you. As a day trader, overnight day trader, it's tough sometimes, these smaller pharma companies.
Yep. So those are always come on my list of not to touch, and silver or gold mining companies. I never buy those.
Here's another thing too to consider, and I've been looking. Gold's sitting up here near the highs. Yeah, you have so many gold stocks. Like look at Newmont, way off the highs.
They decoupled.
They decoupled, and again, that's probably due to interest rates. Probably it's costing them more to take that out of the ground. They're obviously their operating costs are increasing because of rates. So I mean, but you automatically think, oh, gold's doing well, gold miners are doing well, but that hasn't been the case in 2023. So you're all over that too, Jeremy. You stay away from them too.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Are you a gold? Are you just not a gold bug?
No, I'm not specifically. No, I will trade it, but I don't have a lot right now. Less than 1% of my net worth is in physical gold and silver. I mean, it's probably like 0.5%. And just in general, I will trade it, but the only time I ever trade gold or silver is I buy GLD or SLV. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple, man.
Man.
I think with a good lesson from this is, and we can go to this, Jeremy, before we let you go.
Sure.
Like if you want to own Bitcoin, own Bitcoin. Don't own the big. Some of these stocks have made some moves, but you look at they've had some moves, but I mean, just no comparison here. Give us I know you've been a Bitcoin bull for quite a long time. Give us your outlook for Bitcoin in 2024.
Oh, Joe, come on, man. I love me, dude. You're just setting me up. I like it. I love Bitcoin. A pullback into 25 would be the most optimal and ideal thing I've seen in a long time. I'm very happy that our boy Sailor has recovered. MicroStrategy was down.
He was in trouble for a bit.
So yeah, he was in trouble for a bit, bro. That guy aged like 15 years.
That hair went quick, man. That hair goes quick,
for sure. But I think pullbacks get bought, and I think 2024, 2025 is relatively bullish for Bitcoin as it comes into the halving again. I'm a buyer of dips. So
I don't know. halvings, but I do think regional banks still have problems, and I think Bitcoin is an alternative to banks, and I like that play. That is what
So smart.
turned Bitcoin around, was the regional banking crisis.
100%. 100%. Absolutely.
And I'm with you. I'm still long some Bitcoin too. I wish I had more actually. And I'm not a big crypto fan. I don't trade crypto, but the Bitcoin, I was skeptical for a long time, and I just feel like it's not going away. Obviously, the ETF is a driver here as well,
Correct.
and the ETF is probably coming in 2024. I don't think they can stop it. And then the third driver is, I think regional banks still got problems, and Bitcoin's an alternative.
Yep. I'm with you,
Last
brother.
one before you get out of here, Jeremy.
Okay.
How do you feel about AI in 24? Will it still be the hype word
Ooh.
that it is today?
Yeah, it'll be the hype word, but it's going to cause the next little pop. I mean, we're definitely coming into an AI bubble. That is for sure. And so the next big disaster from a tech standpoint will be AI. Although I don't think it happens next year. It's probably more like 2025, 2026 maybe. But yeah, it'll be a strong buzzword. I mean, it did everything differently than people thought it would, right? People thought AI would take, menial jobs, and right now it's actually taking creative jobs. And that's what people did not fully expect or anticipate, which I think is really unique and interesting. But when it does start to blend into both and every company starts just really merging into that world, yeah, man, I do. I think we can continue to go higher, but it's going to cause a nice little bubble to come into place because everyone's talking about it. Everyone is the master
Okay,
of AI.
Jeremy, but I know you're going to be adding to your position in 2024 in life. You're adding to your position.
Life
I don't know.
position.
You're now out. Well, yeah, you will be outnumbered now 3-2. So I don't know if I
Well,
recommend
congratulations, Jeremy.
Thanks,
yeah,
gentlemen.
do you
Thank
know what you're having and when?
Yep, new baby boy on the way for the Newsom household, June of
Wow.
next year.
Wow, June, he can hit my birthday.
Yep,
Go
might
for
happen.
it, Jeremy.
Well, with that being said, of course, why don't you guys go check out Real Life Trading and check it out for yourself. See what Jeremy does every single day. And when you get there, you'll see 3 kind of beginners that you guys can take already, free courses. Why not check out those free courses and then look to see what he has to offer? Of course, it's Black Friday. I'm sure there's some kind of deals you guys might want to check out. 90 Days to Trade Masterclass also. Hey, some good stuff here, like always, guys. And you guys see his style. He's always somebody that I definitely kind of follow and stay up with. So you guys check out Real Life Trading. There's a reason why we bring him on all the time. Thank you, Jeremy. Always bringing some great stock for us.
Thanks,
good
family.
times.
Awesome, Jeremy.
And have a great holiday, man. Enjoy.
Thanks, rock stars. You're amazing. See you later.
All right, guys, let's get back to the markets. Let's do a little wrap up here. We'll go to Dennis to see what's driving the boat. How are the stocks looking as we get towards the open?
Quiet. And we are in holiday trade here, so expect more quietness. I mean, the volumes are low for this time of day. There's just not much happening here. The only action we're really seeing, Nvidia, the dip was indeed bought. This was down at 476, I think, this morning here, Joel, and we just came off $8 off those lows. They came down actually because 475 looks like on your charts. I didn't see that, but I saw 476. So they have indeed come in and bought the dip in Nvidia here once again, but it is very quiet. iRobot's having a day. We already covered that. That's our major story of the day, that the EU may approve that merger with Amazon. The takeout price is 51.75. So some people are still skeptical because it's not up there. Great show, Mitch, putting it together. I mean, these kind of days are really quiet. It was fun to recap, what's been the best, what's been the worst, looking into 2024. I do look into 2024 for the trade to reverse. I think you're getting a continuation in the next month. That's what typically happens. Tax loss selling brings the laggards down further, and the leaders, the window dressing brings those up. And then often you see that trade reverse January 1st.
For Nvidia, I mean, you did get the dip. You actually got through yesterday's low. I think what you'd like to see us set up on the dailies is, a couple lows like in the same area. This is it's obviously a higher price stock and it's volatile, but I mean, you build a base here at 475, 480. You already have a chance now because 476.90. You would have taken a couple bucks worth of heat on that on this morning. But you're in it. You got a pre-market low at 475, $10 above it. Doesn't look like it's going back there unless the market completely falls apart. So let's see if we can build a base in NVIDIA. For me, for the S&P, we've had a 12-point range overnight. We just had a little decline to unchanged at 67.25. So that is, mid-range. That's support on the day. And let's see if we can get up to Wednesday's high. That would be my first target on the upside, 40, 80, 50. And that's also been the high of the move. But that's it for me. I guess I think we got Mr. Quasta coming back on Monday. Let me go to my trusty schedule here that I think that I probably should have
Yes,
had up
we
before.
do. I think we
Tim?
do, Joel. I think it's Tim. We'll let you guys know if for any reason that changes. But
Nope,
of course,
it's Roggy. Roggy. We got
ooh,
Roggy
even
Oh,
tomorrow.
better.
Tim's still off.
Hey.
Yep.
Tim's enjoying the holidays, and we want to
Tim
let you
knows
guys.
how to live, man. I want to just in my next life, I'm coming back as Tim Quast. That guy knows how to live. He's on the slopes. He's in Europe. He's over there, and he's trading, making money here. That Tim Quast
Well,
got it going on.
I wanted to tell everybody,
I
of
just
course,
sit in this office and just day trade and rot. I
We're
don't go
definitely
anywhere.
grateful for everyone out there that joins us every single morning. So big applause to you guys out there. Thank you for joining us every single day. This is my favorite community to be in the morning. There's a reason why I'm a part of this show is because I used to be like you guys out there every single day in the chat, joining pre-market prep, throwing stocks up, trying to talk to Dennis and Joel, right? They are great mentors that we have access to. So thank you, like always, to Dennis and Joel, and for everybody out there that listens to Pre-Market Prep. Hope you guys have a good rest of your holiday weekend, at least. If you guys don't celebrate Thanksgiving, at least enjoy the weekend and have a great one. We'll see you guys back on Monday. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Joel.
Thanks,
Have a good one,
everyone.
guys.
Thanks, Mitch.
Go blue.
Go blue, baby. All right, guys. Now to bring you guys over to live trading. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. We still got a little bit of some live trading for you guys for the rest of the day. Then we'll wrap it up. No start swing trade later today. We'll end up the day right here on live trading. I'll see you guys over. Don't go anywhere and smash the like if you guys enjoyed today's show.